As NATO is expanding like a cancer, and in just the last 25 years swallowed our Warsaw Pact allies, then some parts of the Soviet Union, the Baltic countries, and now it is trying to covet Georgia and Ukraine. Where is the red line? Where will NATO stop, so to say? Are there any limits? And who will set them? We are not scared. I am not, and no one should be. But we must judge by realities. And the realities you have characterized quite vividly in a brilliant manner have put fear in our hearts. I repeat, I would not be scared of anything. But we must soberly evaluate the situation. And what is it like? You, in general, have just described it. We were promised once, I said it in Munich in due time at a security conference, that after the reunification of Germany, NATO would not expand eastward. The alliance would not move beyond its eastern borders. We were told by then NATO Secretary General. And then it started to expand, including former Warsaw Pact countries first, and then the Baltic countries and the former Soviet republics. Once I said, why are you doing that? What's the point? For ensuring the security for these countries? Do you think someone will attack them? Is it enough to sign a contract, a bilateral agreement on friendship and mutual assistance, including a military one, and the security of these countries will be ensured? The answer was, this has nothing to do with you. People and countries have the right to choose the way to ensure their own safety. Well, it's true. But it is also true that when the infrastructure of a military bloc is getting nearer to our borders, it causes some concern and questions. We have to have a countermove. And it is true. No one can deny our right. This makes us take some countermeasure in response. Now, I will use this opportunity to say a few more words about our talks on missile defense systems, which is just as important or perhaps even more important than NATO's eastward expansion. By the way, our decision concerning Crimea was partly due to this fact. Of course, first and foremost was the support of Crimea people, but also the consideration that if we do nothing, that at some time, guided by the same principles, they will drag Ukraine into NATO and say, this has nothing to do with you. And NATO ships will be in the city of Russian naval glory, Sevastopol. But it is not only the emotional side of this issue, but it is the fact that Crimea, of course, protrudes into the Black Sea. It is in the center. But on military grounds, it is not as important as it was in the 18th and 19th centuries. Bearing in mind the availability of modern impact weapons, including onshore ones. But if NATO troops are brought there, and they set their impact weapons there, then it will be geopolitically important for us. Then Russia will actually be squeezed out of the Black Sea. We will have a small piece of coast, 450 or 600 kilometers, that's all. Squeezing Russia out of this very important region in the world, and it is quite real for Russia, the region where so many of our ancestors died in the previous centuries, this is a serious thing. Therefore, we shouldn't be scared of anything. But we must and we will take these circumstances into account and will react accordingly. The same thing is happening, as I have just said, with our talks concerning the deployment of elements of the U.S. missile defense. This is not a defensive system, but rather a part of the offensive capability removed to the periphery. But, as we are told, it is not against you. But you know, at the expert level, everyone understands that the deployment of these systems close to our borders covers the positions of our missiles, land-based strategic missiles. Everybody is well aware of this. They say, you should trust us. It is not against you. Our American partners, in response to our proposal to sign some tiny legal paper, where it was written that it is not against us, refused to. It's amazing, but true. And of course, we want to ask some questions. Why don't you sign it if you feel that it is not against us? This piece of paper is a trifle, you know. Sign today, tomorrow you can throw it away. But they won't even do this small thing. And when they place these elements in Europe, then, and we have said about this many times, we will have to do something in response. This is firing up the arms race. What do they do it for?